Chapter 23 Devon, Thursday. I meet Chiamaka in Morgan Library during lunch. Until today, I'd never really been in Morgan before, but, like the other libraries, it's huge and old, with dark brown shelves that reach the ceiling, books that carry this old dusty smell, and rows of computers. Computer 17 is tucked into the corner. Some guy's using it to watch videos, so all I can do is stare and wonder what's being kept on there. Hundreds of secrets, locked away on Ace's account. Chiamaka's writing something down on a tiny notepad. If we hide behind the cart of books over there by the computer, we'll have the best view and best cover, she says in a whisper. I look over at the cart. What if it's not there on Sunday? She sighs, looking around. The carts don't move. I've come here a few times this week to check, and there's always a cart by the entrance. But if for whatever reason it isn't here on Sunday, then we hide behind the first bookshelf and wait for them to arrive. She flips the notepad shut as the first warning bell sounds, signaling the end of lunch. Despite Chiamaka's confidence, I still worry that something will go wrong. We walk out of Morgan separately, Chiamaka a few steps ahead, so that it doesn't look like we are in here together, and I head toward my locker. The crowd divides as people make their way down the hall. There's a shift in the air as I near the senior lockers. Something feels different. For one, it is completely dark in the hallway. Two, people are slowing down, their mumbled voices growing louder, and at first no one's sure what all the chaos is about. Then the lights blink on and I see them. Posters plastered to every single locker. Posters of a passed-out Chiamaka in a short silver dress, black tights, black-heeled boots, mascara dried in her cheeks, and her hair a tangled mess. Some of the posters have bitch written in big black bold text, others slut. I move closer to the posters. Surrounding her body are these weird identical blonde dolls. I scan the crowd for Chiamaka, swallowing a lump in my throat when I see her in the center of the hallway, frozen. The quiet chaos is interrupted by a pop music blaring from the school speakers as a figure dressed in head-to-toe in black, with a black hood and a terrifying Guy Fawkes mask, carrying hundreds of posters, appears out of nowhere and rushes forward. The hairs on the back of my neck are raised, and a chill runs through me unexpectedly. My mind flashes back to the park, the figure with the camera. In one swift movement, they toss the papers they're holding into the air. The sheets fall from the ceiling like giant snowflakes, and people reach up, jumping to catch the paper, like it's some game. I block my face as the sheets rain down, but I glimpse the printed images. I reach down and pick one up. It's me and Chiamaka's junior yearbook photos, only our eyes have been scratched out. It's like a punch to the gut. Without thinking, I push through the crowd, walking toward the masked figure. They notice my sudden movement and look me dead in the eye before sprinting away, pushing through the crowd. They're fast, black sneakers carrying them quickly. I start running, but I'm quickly balked by bodies, shoving me back as they grab at the posters that litter the floor. I fight my way through, not wanting to lose the person. By the time I break out from the crowd, the figure has disappeared once again. Aces? Taking a shaky breath, I turn. My face is hot, limbs quaking as all eyes fix on me now. Some sneer, others stare blankly. I scan the hallway for Chiamaka, but she's disappeared. Her picture comes into view again, lined up along each locker. I run at the first one, tearing it down, move to the next one, yanking it off, then the next, and the next, blood boiling. Whoever took this photo meant to do harm. She's passed out, unaware of the picture being taken. It's nasty. It's a violation. I spot Mr. Ward at the end of the hallway, holding one of the posters. Then I watch as he crumbles it up and throws it in the trash, before walking away. The second warning bell rings, and the students around me abruptly start walking away, moving toward their classes. I stand in the center of the hallway, the picture of Chiamaka clutched in my hand, the floor filled with copies of my defaced school photo. Mr. Taylor looks down at the crumpled posters of Chiamaka and me, his brow furrowed and mouth twisted as he scans the page. I'm sorry, Devon. These were just in the hallway? You didn't see who put them up? He asks. I nod. We didn't see who put them up, but there was a person throwing some of the posters around. They were wearing a mask, so I didn't see who they were either. Mr. Taylor sighs and looks up at me. I'm going to find out who did this, Devon, okay? I feel relieved. Thank you. Just go home, and try not to let this get you down. I do exactly that. I go home and I try not to think about it, but it's impossible. I'm at home, in my bedroom, knees bouncing like I've had too much coffee, seated on the edge of the bed trying to do homework, but I can't shake the image of those posters on the hallway floor, of the figure in the mask. It's like my mind can't comprehend what is going on. I feel guilty that Chiamaka is probably on her own somewhere, dealing with us all by herself. I'm barely holding it together here, and the attack on me today wasn't half as personal. I couldn't find her after class, in the labs. She's not answering her phone, and I don't know where she lives. The posters made me feel sick. They were a threat to me and Chiamaka, letting us know that someone is out for us and won't stop until they've destroyed us. I feel a tap on my shoulder and I jump. My brother James is staring at me, a serious expression on his face as he holds up a drawing. My brothers have been watching cartoons all evening, like they usually do after they get back from school. Ma's in the kitchen making dinner. I normally help, but I've been falling behind on everything lately, and I have to get my homework done. I survey the picture, trying to look really impressed. 9 times out of 10, the picture is of an elephant, James' favorite animal. But this picture is pink and brown and lopsided. So cool, Jay. That's an elephant? I ask, pulling him onto my lap. He shakes his head. No, it's meant to be you, he says, sounding disappointment at my wrong guess. I look at the picture again. The creature's face is big, the body small and crooked. James gave the creature 2 ears and 2 earrings, one that's a Christian cross and the other a normal stud, just like mine. The creature has a frown on its face and a teardrop under one of its eyes. I see it now. It looks just like me, I say, feeling a little offended, but it makes him a smile. He crawls off my lap and joins Elijah again on the floor, by the small TV in the corner. I watch the shapes move about on the screen for a moment, then I turn back to the shapes on my homework sheet. I feel my phone buzz next to me and I grab it quickly, hoping it's Chiamaka telling me she's okay, that the posters are fucked up, that everything is definitely directed at us, and that we need to do something now, before Sunday. But it's not her. It's Terrell. You disappeared on me yesterday. T. He messaged me yesterday, too, but I ignored it, hoping that if I pretended not to see the text, I could erase how embarrassing the whole conversation at his house had been. After our exchange yesterday, I decided to go home. Facing him directly after that would have been too awkward. Sorry for disappearing. Hope your sister's doing better. D. Immediately, he texts back. She is. T. We've only been friends for a few days, and already I'm being clingy and annoying. What the hell is wrong with me? Want to come over now? You can bring your music. I look down at my homework, the sound of the cartoons drowning out the yells from the good angel on my shoulder as I slip my sneakers on and put my assignment sheets away. I couldn't focus anyway, I reason, as I type back a response. We'll be over in 10. D. 10 minutes later, I'm lying back on Terrell's bed. It's really comfortable, in a don't have to share it with nobody way. I miss the days when I was an only child and didn't have to share a bed with my brothers. Terrell is seated in front of me, listening to my audition piece. I feel nauseous watching him. What if he says my piece is bad and I should scrap it all? Sometimes I feel like the time I'm spending perfecting this audition piece is pointless. With the way things are going, if this Aces bullshit reaches Juilliard, I don't think it will matter how good my audition piece is. They don't want a student who's been accused of all the things Aces has been accused me of. Especially since none of the accusations were entirely false. Terrell's shoulders move under the black cotton of his hoodie, and I watch them out of the corner of my eye. He almost seems to be dancing. I want to laugh, but I don't want to alarm him and disrupt whatever flow he has. I know what's missing, Terrell says, turning to face me now. His voice startles me, but I try not to show that it does. What? Drums. He takes the headphones out of his ears and passes my player back to me. Drums? Really? I ask, because it seems strange to me. I know how to play them, kind of, but I haven't had to since freshman year band practice, which I quit as soon as I could. Working with others isn't something I like doing when it comes to music. I'm not even sure if the Juilliard composition faculty would like that. It's too soft without them, like that white-ass school you go to. I nudge him. He nudges me back. The piece has the keyboard and clarinet. I guess I could see where he's coming from. You might be right, I say, voice trailing off. My thoughts once again are occupied by the posters in the hallway. My face. Chiamaka's face. It's hard to ignore the lack of white faces on the posters. It's hard to ignore the obvious thing tying Chiamaka and me together now. Our black skin. There's so much cramming in my mind. I don't feel safe at school, or anywhere, really. Like I'm constantly having to look over my shoulder. I learned when I was younger to keep how I've really felt buried. Deal with feelings later, on my own. I'm good at burying things in deep boxes in my mind. I'm good at being okay most of the time. Until I'm not, and the boxes burst open and I explode. Hey, Terrell? I say quietly, fingers edging toward one of the boxes in my head. Yeah? He says. I close my eyes, feeling like I'm floating away, somewhere far from here. I sniff, thinking about what to say next, how to phrase it. Something weird happened at school today. Something really, really fucked up. What happened? Terrell says. already sounding worried, which is so Terrell. He cares. I pull out my phone. The person who's been spreading stuff about me and that girl, they put these posters up today. I took some pictures, I say, showing Terrell. He looks at my phone, eyebrows bunched up, expression growing more and more pissed. Have you told anyone? He asks, tearing his eyes away from the screen and looking at me. I look down quickly, picking an imaginary lint from my pants, trying not to make my eye contact with him. I told Mr. Taylor, my music teacher, today. He said he's going to help us find out who put the posters up. Chiamaka and I are breaking into the school on Sunday to catch them in the act and stop them before it gets any worse, if that's even possible. Terrell nods slowly. Those pictures, they look scary. His voice trails off. Just be careful breaking in. Whoever's doing this could be dangerous. Are you sure you guys will be okay alone? I don't mind tagging along if you want. I nod. We'll be okay, I tell him, even though I don't mean that at all. I just don't want to drag Terrell any deeper into this. But honestly, I'm terrified. This is our only option at this point, but the situation seems to be spinning out of control. It feels like suddenly everything's at stake, and we have no idea who our opponent is. It sounds like proper CSI work, he says, pointing his finger guns at me, coming close to my face with them. I turn his fingers toward him, but Terrell pushes them back toward me, and I find myself smiling. I bury things. It's how I cope. I don't face them head on like Chiamaka does. There's always the risk you'll get seriously hurt if you do that, dragging others down with you. Chiamaka even wants me to wear all black, like we're going to rob the school or something. I force out a laugh, but it feels strained. He raises an eyebrow. Well, if you're going to do it right. I squint at him. Are you trying to quote Wham? Who's Wham? Terrell asks. Old white band. Terrell ahs. I only concern myself with young, pretty brown boys, like myself. I laugh out loud at the statement. You're not pretty, I tell him. Dimples appear on both cheeks. That's your opinion. I think I'm very pretty. Not as pretty as you, but I think I'm okay. Whatever, I say, staring down at the picture of posters on my phone until the screen goes black. Do you guys have any theories as to who it might be behind this yet? Terrell asks, taking one of his textbooks from his desk onto his lap. I shrug. Chiamaka just says it has to be someone in our classes who's watching us all the time. What if it's not? Terrell says. I scrunch my eyebrows up. What does he even mean by that? What if it's a teacher? Are there any teachers who might be out to get you? Terrell continues. My mind flashes back to Headmaster Ward in the hallway, how he saw the posters of Chiamaka and me but clearly didn't give a shit. I think about how quick he was to blame us for the USBs. The new headmaster. He seems to have some issue with Chiamaka and me, and it makes sense. Before he came, things were fine. There was no aces. It all started as soon as he arrived at Nevaeus. Terrell nods. Maybe you guys have been looking for the wrong perpetrator. You should go to the school board, get him fired. I remember in elementary school, I had this white teacher. I couldn't understand it back then, but she just felt evil. I always got the sense that she hated us, me and the other black kids in my class. She'd be nice to Jack, but would talk down to me like I did something wrong. At the time, I didn't understand it, but maybe this is what is really going on. Maybe Terrell is right. It makes sense. Ward would have access to all our files, to the school on weekends. He'd be able to play with the CCTV, shut the lights off, create anonymous school accounts. But how do I even go about proving that type of thing? We probably need more concrete evidence, though. I'm hoping that on this Sunday, we'll get that. If all fingers point to Ward, we'll take him down, I say. I swear I'm starting to sound just like Chiamaka. Friday. It's Friday, and I'm at school, a little earlier than usual because Chiamaka finally wants to speak to me. As I walk through the hallway, I can feel the glares of people, the patronizing smiles, shaking their heads, like I give a fuck. There are no more posters of Chiamaka up. The walls are blank, with the exception of the posters for the ball that we're all required to go to next week. I'm assuming the janitor probably took care of it, but the way everything is so spotless, it's like yesterday never happened. I reach for my phone to check if Chiamaka's messaged again. I was at Terrell's place until really late, so I only remembered to charge my phone this morning, which is when Chiamaka texted. As I walk into the music classroom we're meeting in, my screen flashes. Okay, guys, this one's a biggie. Strap on your Gucci belts and get your popcorn while I tell you a story about a girl who couldn't wash the blood off her hands. Because if she could, I wouldn't know so much about it. The fuck? Our favorite head prefect, would kill for some attention from aces. It must be hard going from queen status to pauper overnight, so I thought I'd help her climb up the ladder again. So the big question is, what's the sentence for murder? 10 years? 15? Life? Who can help a girl out? More to come soon on this killer story. Aces. My mind flashes back to the file in the USB. The door of the music room bursts open, and I jump back as Chiamaka storms in, tears running down her face. Devon, I think something bad is going to happen to me.